In 1996, Scholastic began publishing Animorphs. Over the next 6 years, Katherine Applegate and her husband, Michael Grant, under the pseudonym K.A. Applegate, produced 54 main series books, several spin-offs, and inspired a TV series, graphic novels, and a cult following. We can't tell you where we live. We can't even tell you our last names. But we can tell you our thoughts and feelings on this series, book by book. I'm Miranda.
I'm Eddie.
And I'm Chris.
And we are... the Anidorks.
These may be kids' books, but we discuss dark themes and mature content. There may also be some explicit language. Listener discretion is advised.
I believe you have a little story about a howdy of whiskey you want to tell us.
So before we started recording today, I was like, I don't have any beer. I don't have anything. And I went to this bluegrass show on Sunday, and they were all talking about how, like, you know, they didn't want to drink too much. So, like, blah, blah, blah. They were like, well, let's all do a howdy of whiskey. Or they didn't say a howdy of whiskey. They said, let's all have a couple howdies.
Howdies?
And I was like, are you kidding me? That's the cutest thing ever.
So is it like you just
it's a half
rinse
shot.
the glass in it?
Oh my God, I called it a half shot. Wow.
It's a half shot.
There you go.
Yeah, it's a half
I know
shot.
howdies.
How do you...
I know howdies.
Now, what's a high? How do you do?
That's a shot and a half.
2 quarter shots.
Hi, how do you do? It is a shot and a half. That's totally true. It is that much and then more. All right, you guys. Should we do the emails first, or should we do...
I think we should talk about what happened to us.
What? I don't know what to do about what happened to us.
Yeah,
I don't know what to do.
I'm still mad at you, Eddie, for suggesting we start this podcast.
3 years ago, yeah.
Yeah. I think it's just like... It's like, come on. Like, you knew this would happen.
You knew
like,
I was going to get shot in the heart. Shot through the heart, and you're to blame, Eddie.
Yeah. Well, what happened is
time.
we started with 6 Animorphs. We started with 5 Animorphs. Then we got a 6th Animorph.
Got
Now
a
we have
cool new
7
sixth
Animorphs.
No, we don't, Eddie.
That's not what happened at the end?
No.
Yeah, we have a little mouse companion.
We kept it from you as long as we could.
A little mouse companion.
Is he a mouse? I forget.
He's a rat.
He's a rat.
The bred rats, I think this is true in English too, but I see them, I follow someone who posts a lot of rats on Twitter that are like pet rats, and the Japanese for it is fancy rat, and so it's always tagged fancy rat, and I was like
that.
What makes this rat so fancy? And I looked it up, and it's like, oh, it's just what you call it's the breed of rat that it is. I was like, I thought this was like a meme. I thought I was going to find like, I don't know, a community.
Yeah.
And I did, fancy rats.
What was that song from like 15 years ago where it's like, I'm so fancy. No,
yeah.
I'm in it's a Charlie
living
XCX
in the fast
chorus.
lane. Yeah.
So, do we think that we're going to
be 15 years ago? That has to be an
No,
exaggeration.
it's more
It has to be
recent.
like 10 years ago.
maybe 5, 7? 7 years. I'm going to say 7
10.
years.
I'm going to say 10.
Okay.
There's one by Reba McEntire, but that's not.
Fancy Charlie.
Okay.
It's
Iggy Azalea.
yes. And when did the song drop? 2014. It's 12 years.
It's 15 years ago.
Gosh, Chris, you were right.
So wait, I stuck with 15, but you went with 10, which is closer.
Yeah, Price is Right rules. Yeah.
Well, I'm wrong, certainly. That's certainly true, is that I'm wrong.
That song was doing its thing when I saw Taylor Swift back before. That was wait, is that true? No, that's not true. All right, cut all of this.
I don't edit these.
I actually have I have a huge favor to ask you, actually, because I'm leaving town. It depends on when it comes out. All right, Eddie, you're in.
All right. It'll be like arts and crafts night. I'll just see what happens.
Eddie, this isn't so much an audio podcast as just a bunch of GIFs that you...
Yeah. Somehow it's like me doing my best impression of both of you. I've made a new podcast. I destroyed the original.
So I tried to edit the original. I printed it out and I cut up the waveforms and pasted them back together, but my scanner won't take it.
And I'm starting to think that my scanner is actually a panini press. Because the sandwiches have been delicious.
What I would make would be
sorry
beautiful.
For the late episode, everyone, the Blue Sky post. Sorry for the late episode. I'm faxing it to you right now. You're just feeding it to your dog.
How did you get on Blue Sky? Yeah, so back to the books already at hand. Do we have anything in specific? Like, do we have talking points?
Okay, I have first question.
Okay.
At the end of the David trilogy, I'm pretty sure K.A., or who is narrating, Rachel says something about how making it seem like the vibe is that we're never going to see David again. Do we ever see David again?
I mean, I thought our guys in the our Discord.
Yeah.
I thought our Discord basically confirmed that they would never.
No, I got that sense, but it's possible. They say they never hear from him directly, and it sounded like that meant that the only way they heard from him was like through that urban legend. But I don't know. Maybe the Yeerks will find him. He's a rat nothlit now, but no, I don't think.
It's also true that Rachel could be an unreliable narrator.
True. Maybe maybe Jake heard from him, but he's like, never Rachel can't know about this. This will fuck her up if she knows that we heard from David.
Yeah. And we also know that one spoiler about Rachel that we're not allowed to acknowledge that we know.
True.
Which one's that?
The one.
Maybe Tobias is dropping is just dropping snakes on the island. He's like, yeah, no, we said we wouldn't kill him. I'm just, the rat population's getting a little out of control. I thought they could use some natural predators.
How long
he actually
do rats
died
live?
2 weeks later.
Is the one spoiler that we know that she's Jewish? Is that?
Maybe Eddie doesn't know.
Then we definitely can't.
We can't say it.
I'm not remembering. I don't know. Did we learn that at some point?
You definitely know.
We have not yet learned that she is Jewish. That is true.
No, but that's not the thing, though.
No, I know that's not the thing.
We're not allowed to talk about.
That she's not practicing.
Wild
her
rats
gymnastics,
typically live less than. Do you want to guess?
6 months.
8 months. 2 years.
1 year.
1 year. Oh.
But 95% of wild rats die before they turn 1 year old.
Do you think so let's, real bird's eye view. Let's go back to what we always do
Honestly,
best.
This is making me want to get a pet rat.
They're very cute.
Low
name it David?
Super cute.
Yeah.
No, I would never do that.
Here's what we do best. Did David father any rat children?
Yes.
You think?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Here's what we do best?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Oh, no, you're right. No. This is totally it. Okay, David never makes an appearance, but his son rat is going to have a redemption arc.
Some sort of inherited Nothlit ability.
Is he like the father? The sins of the father kind of thing.
Yeah. He teaches him English, and they draw in the sand with their little noses.
Yeah. Why am I assuming that the rat child has
6 months later, somebody rides by on a canoe, and they see "Rip Dad" written in the sand because David's fucking son.
What's the character in Macbeth whose sons turn into kings? Bufo or something?
No, it's not Bufo.
Banquo.
Banquo.
Who's Bufo? Yeah, it's like if David were Banquo.
Bufo would be a great name for a buffalo.
I don't know what boofing is.
Okay, we're not going to
Buffalo.
Buffalo. I said buffalo. I didn't say anything inappropriate that I definitely
am I
don't know
Googling
about.
Bufo right now? No, but am I going to Google it? Yeah.
How do I Google it without getting 80 viruses?
Is it 2 F's or 1?
I'm pretty sure I'll Google it because I'm pretty sure if I'm correct.
Duck, I guess.
Should I log out from Google before I Google
No,
this?
you should not search
Only
it
if
on
you're
Google.
It's drinking through your butt or doing drugs through your butt. It's using the mucus membrane of your rectum.
I thought it was going to be dirty. Okay, let's get back.
It's not clean.
Wait, drinking alcohol? Is there any reason why you? Yeah,
alcohol or drugs.
It's extremely dangerous.
It absorbs very, very quickly. It's why certain medications are suppositories. You absorb things very quickly through that orifice.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah,
Do
Don't
you
get any
absorb
ideas
a
yet.
morph faster through your bowel?
No, that's not how it works.
So David's rat child after he goes through college, and when he
rat
when he's
college
turning
or
Oh my
human
God!
college?
Wait a minute! Is he fucking Stuart Little's dad?
or is he
Wait,
like
yes.
Ratatouille?
does that make him Hugh Laurie's corollary? Hugh
Could be.
Laurie is
I
Stuart
do-
Little's adoptive dad.
Right.
Which
But
means
Miranda-
that David and Hugh Laurie once occupied the same role for Stuart Little.
What's really
And
interesting
then what
is
about
that
Ratatouille?
David the rat did not wear clothing, and yet Stuart Little starts wearing clothing. Is he ashamed? What happened
No,
there?
he learned it from his father. It's like
He
the
went
Garden of
to
Eden.
Bible study once,
Yeah,
and he
yeah,
was
yeah,
like,
yeah.
"Oh my God, I'm naked!" Like,
Do we think Rat David walks on his hind legs? Because Stuart Little does walk on his hind legs. Who taught him that?
yeah, I think David wants to hang on to his humanity as long as possible. I do believe that.
What was
That's
the-
why
the
I actually
Rescuers?
think he wouldn't have any rat children. He's too
Yeah.
egotistical. He could never let go of his humanness. He couldn't just let the rat brain take over. You know what I mean?
Yeah. What was the Secrets of Nim?
Oh my God. You want to talk
Okay.
about rats?
Also, okay, we're really not doing I wouldn't say this is yet a bird's eye view of the David trilogy, but
It's more of a rat's eye view.
the submarine that we were very suspicious about in the third book, is that
True.
actually a promise of what's to come? Is Rat David going to somehow end up as captain or first mate of that submarine? Is that
In like a Ratatouille kind of way?
yeah?
Like
where
he
he
has,
sits in his hat.
yeah, and has a little periscope that comes out the top of the hat, and you can like turn it around and stuff.
Yeah,
It could happen. No, that's why they never hear from him again. He moves to Russia.
You guys, this is off topic, and then we'll get back to the books. I'm so sorry, but at work today, like they've been urging us to use AI as much as possible, and
I'm so
I was
sorry.
like, it's fine. But I was like, I want to play a little game today because I was like, well, what if I showed what I'm working on to the AI, but I begged it under no circumstances to comment on it. And so I kept Richard, my coworker, was on the call, and also listener of this podcast, was on the call, and and I was like, I'm going to show you the email I'm writing, but please, under no circumstances, say anything about it, okay? And then I sent it a thing, and then I sent it one with like a really egregious change to it. It wasn't that egregious. It was like maybe switching some stuff around, but like it was like, and it just said nothing. It just sat there in silence and watched.
Did it say anything at all? Did it say
At
like
one point, I thanked it and said, no matter how, like, I think we joked about like saying like, no matter how much I ever beg you any point after this, please never respond to a prompt of mine. It is better for me to like, and then Richard added the thing of like, make it company wide. Nobody just say like
respond to
company
no
wide.
prompts.
Nobody respond to no prompts.
I think it does have
God.
like a backlog where like eventually old data will get deleted, so you could work through it eventually. Like in 6 months it might listen to you again, but
Oh, and I'm sure there's a way to refresh it, but imagine going to your boss and being like, I broke my chat. And then they go check the log and it just says, you literally begged it never to talk to you. And it's like, I didn't think that would break it.
when I said that to Smarter Child or whatever he was called on AOL, like, he always responded no matter what, even if you asked him not to, because he was programmed to respond to every message. Like,
Yeah. Oh my God, I forgot about
God.
Smarter Child.
Yeah. I remember. Bonsai Buddy.
So
anyway,
how did we
do we think it would be
feel
called
about
Periscope Rat? Sorry, go ahead.
what do we think of the David trilogy altogether?
hurt.
Because I feel like when we were in maybe the first book, second book, it was dark. We talked about that a lot. The pacing of the whole world leader plotline was kind of, we had mixed feelings about remember when they had the whole projected army of Hork-Bajir?
Oh my God, the holograms that didn't play a role in the end. Chekhov's anti-Chekhov's hologram.
Yeah.
The slash shoot VP, the question of who the slash shoot person
Yeah,
was.
Yes,
that's right.
the
So it
slash
was,
shoot man.
it was Marco, Jake, Rachel.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, thinking back to the first book, it's funny how much, like, Marco was such a good person to follow around for that. And yet, like, with where everything went, it feels like we underutilized him a bit. Like, we could have given him something a little juicier.
Yeah. It does make sense, though, to me. I mean, Marco is someone who is very aware of social roles and things like that, and immediately gets this weird sense from David that not everybody does. They get it eventually and pretty quickly, but Marco, like, immediately is like, something about the way things bounce off this guy when I talk to him is not normal. And Marco is the one who's, like, socially in tune enough to, like, understand that. And then we get to Jake, and Jake as an authority figure, I guess so it's like, I'm thinking of, like, broader themes, and we have in the first one, it's him not meshing on a social level.
Yeah.
In the second one, Jake as an authority figure has this, he's, like, out of control aspect. David is not following the norms of their system, which is just an extension of not following the norms of, like, social behaviors. And then in Rachel's, he is fully, like, not just not following social norms, not just hard to control, he is trying to hurt people. And that feels like, when you blow it up like that, it feels like a warning about behaviors that escalate over time. And I feel
it's like be aware of how someone crosses your boundary kind of thing. But it also gives us, it's like, you will notice things socially, like peers will notice things socially. People in positions of authority should also notice something. And then once you've gone too far, you have to respond the way you respond. But it feels like a good, like, it's like Marco didn't really go to anybody. And then in book 2, we go to Jake, who's sort of like an adult figure in these books. I feel terrible for him that he sort of is, but, like, he's looking at it from, like, the grown-up authoritarian perspective. And then he gets out of control. And so, yeah, in the 90s, I feel like it was a really sort of prescient warning for kids about kids who make you feel uncomfortable. Even if you're not sure why at first, listen to your gut feeling, but observe their behavior. And then when they don't, you should go to an authority figure.
Yeah.
And try. But sometimes nothing will stop what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Which is a bleak message, but it is. I mean, I always praise these books for being really real with young readers and not going over their heads and meeting them where they're at and talking about hard things. So, like, I was very impressed.
Yeah. Because I don't feel like they definitely give David too much of a chance here, right?
Yes.
Like, but each Animorph has a different feeling about when, like, I think Marco tried to ring the alarm. I don't know if he actually rang the alarm about David.
I don't think he really rang the alarm.
Yeah.
He
I don't get that impression.
He wanted to vote against it. He did vote against it when they had their vote. So, like, he didn't ring the alarm, but he did make it clear that he didn't necessarily think this was a good idea. But he maybe should have rung the alarm harder. I think even then, when they were talking about it, and because I said even in those books, like, you're not talking about how weird he made you feel just talking to him. Like, you're focusing entirely on the blue box situation, and you're not telling them any of the shit that happened before this.
Yeah.
Like,
what was the alternative to the vote, though? That they kill him?
That they just let him go and know he's going to get yeerked, I think.
Oh, yeah, but he already knew stuff about them, didn't he?
No.
He didn't know who they were. So they were debating while he was unconscious.
Knew? Okay.
Yeah.
He was unconscious. He'd seen them in Morph, but he did not know who they were. And they were debating, before he wakes up, we need to decide if we're getting the fuck out of here or if we're taking him with us.
Okay.
Yeah.
And he was sorry, sad that he's going to get yeerked, but, like, he's less dangerous to us as a yeerked kid than as an unstable kid who's with us. Like,
but Rachel was the other vote against.
Memories,
right?
Yeah,
Rachel
right.
actually, I think, ended up voting for it.
But wasn't there one other vote?
There was one. I think it was Tobias.
He would have had memories. David would have had memories about, like, talking about the blue box, though, right?
Yes, that's true.
Which is scary. I think it's like, do we think that doesn't become a lead in the...
You're not wrong.
Maybe it doesn't. I mean, there's a lot of memories from Yeerk people. Maybe they just go, oh, I mean, I have a lot of memories.
So many, I'm not even sure what they are sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes I'm like, are these mine?
All right, I'm pulling up the Discovery.
Me too. I'm searching. Axe votes no.
Axe, it's Axe. I wasn't
says,
sure if...
We are not an army. We are a guerrilla group. The differences between the two... Okay, he's talking about the word guerrilla versus guerrilla. My point is, going from 6 members to 7 will not make us much stronger, and it carries risk.
Yeah.
Before we... We should start with someone we understand, not a stranger. We have this... Axe was right, I think. We have this mission before us.
100% right. And I think he tried to not vote. He was like, this is a human matter. And Jake was like, this is an Animorph matter. And he was like, then no, I don't think it's a good idea, but I'll do what you want, Prince Jake. Like,
yeah, Rachel was the swing vote. She actually voted yes. She said, let's do it. Axe makes a good point. One extra member makes just adds risk, but Cassie's right too. We have to start somewhere. Yeah. Could they have kept David captive to learn more about him and seen how he...
I definitely think they should have. Oh, it's not the ethical option. There's no ethical option. Just to be clear, they were basically trying to keep him captive as a morph, as an Animorph too.
The most ethical option, possibly, would be to let him go and let him sort it out himself.
I think in a perfect world... In a perfect world, they would have enough money to have him wake up with a letter that says, you need to get out of town, here's $200, leave. Yeah, and hope that he listens.
Right.
But
But it doesn't necessarily doom him. It's not our fault that those conditions have been...
How bad is this idea?
It's not their fault.
Give him the morph power without explaining anything to him, and then let him go on his own.
That's bad. That's a really bad idea.
Hold on.
That's a deeply bad idea.
Hold on. I think we get 10 seasons of this show.
Oh my god, we could write this spin-off though. Yeah. Oh my god, my AU
puberty
fanfic
was going to involve having changes. Yeah. I didn't realize it involved changing into an animal.
My AU fanfic of David moving to another state right after this, and learning he has the power to morph and like accidentally doing it's basically just going to be Danny Phantom, but with animals instead of ghosts.
But then like he has this power to morph. Does he know where it came from? Like, what if he just is like, wow, weird dream about the aliens. And then, like, in my version, his parents are still there somehow, and he just, like, gets the power to... Like, his parents get yeerked and things go back to normal super quick.
Oh, like, they think he doesn't remember. They're like, oh, he took a blow to the head. He might not remember, and he wakes up and pretends everything's normal, so they just don't yeerk him.
And then, but he knows he can turn around.
So, the funny thing is...
He knows he can turn to an animal.
The shape of the whole world leader plotline is only like the whole thing is a misdirect. The trilogy is in no way, it is using that as a setup to make you think that the first book is about that. And then the second one, it's just kind of
us.
Yeah. But the ending of that is so anticlimactic. It doesn't even really make sense that they solved the problem that easily after it took us 3 books.
Well, honestly though, interestingly, if you chart that plot line, it peaks in the center of the trilogy.
True. Yeah. Completely.
And then it's falling action from there. So it is the thing that actually follows the classic plot. It's just that, it doesn't get satisfactorily wrapped up, except that they do, in Rachel's book, they do the final mission, and then they go, yeah, I guess it's better. I guess it's fine. Like, but it does have rising action in that plot line until that moment with the holograms. It's just that instead of having falling action in the general sense, like you're having it in that plot line, but the David plot line is only rising.
Yeah.
So it's like a very confusing, it's like as David rises, it falls and David becomes the central plot line of the trilogy.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, I guess I was just unsatisfied with its ending, but like I do like it as a plot line. I liked the hologram bit, actually. I thought it was
so
fun.
Needlessly complicated, but it was fun. And the hole in the ceiling, it made no sense in the best way possible now in retrospect. Yeah, like,
oh my god, remember when they were flies or fleas riding Dragonfly Jake under a man's hat? Yep. Like, that was so goofy fun.
And Marco became a giant flea?
And they were biting each other?
Oh, God, yeah. They were, David, and I forgot that bite me could be something that wasn't sexual, so when he was like, don't take this the wrong way, David, but bite me, I thought he was like...
Yeah. better then? Back when we were discussing book 21, were we happier?
I thought you were going to say
We were
back
younger
when you
then.
did. One day younger.
One
One
day
day
younger.
younger. Oh my god.
The David trilogy is not the musical, I don't think.
No.
No.
David, I
No.
think actually you could have him as a funny gag where someone who's clearly David shows up and they're just like, leave. Go.
Yeah.
It's not your turn.
He's a new kid at school. He's going to summer camp with our kids, but he's not yet on his whole David from the trilogy trajectory yet. That would be.
He's a new kid at school. He's not hanging out with it. He's not on his David shit yet.
Yeah, but we see him around camp and he like keeps trying to worm his way in and they're like, ew, David, nobody wants you here. Like,
And he's doing, what was it, the Dark Triad? He's giving
he's just
hints
setting
of the Dark
fires,
Triad.
wetting the bed, and hurting animals.
dude,
That's all he does.
Are you're the Dark Triad? Are you talking about that polycule in my neighborhood?
Oh my God.
With
We're hitting all the callbacks.
the one with the matching cloaks
Yeah.
and the pentagrams, because they're lovely people, and I won't have them say.
Nostalgia's very lucrative right now, so I think this is actually,
I'm
we've been
hoping
going.
we're going to see a downswing in nostalgia in a specific way, but we won't get too much
We
into
are
that.
discussing a book series from the 90s, though, so.
You know what? But this one rules.
Yeah. What have we learned about hiring from this book? If we're in the market for a new Animorph.
It is making me realize that we should have left Miranda to figure it out with the Yeerks, and we shouldn't have given her the Anidork GameCube.
It is a real problem. You know, he didn't even present a resume. Like, he had no... He may have had prior qualifications. We didn't know. We didn't even do an interview. They held him to a chair and made him watch Axe morph. This is more like hazing than it is like an interview process.
Yeah. Well, Jake certainly will join a fraternity someday, so.
Oh, no. I hope not.
Do you think? At this
Not
point, I
anymore.
feel like-
No.
Not
I
anymore,
feel
yeah.
like
That
it's
was the
drama.
path he was on, but
Yeah.
like...
Did
Rachel,
the Animorphs
I think, will
save him, actually?
still join a sorority.
Yeah.
Get
but
way
she
too
will,
into the
like-
hazing.
No,
What?
I think she will weirdly get aggressive about like community outreach. She would be like, I joined this sorority to do some fucking good in this world, you stupid idiots. Yes, I love doing makeup with you, but let's go to the soup kitchen and look hot doing it. Like
I feel better about Rachel post this trilogy.
What do you mean? Okay, no, let me ask, what do you mean? Do you think
Yeah.
she's in a better place, or do you mean you feel more attached to Rachel?
Okay. Do
Yeah, I
feel
was
more
gonna
attached?
say.
I do feel more attached to her.
I do too.
I
I'm happy
feel
for you.
more.
I'm shocked that you didn't trust her before, that you're like, that this is what it took.
Yeah. Well, so the group is talking about what's going on with Rachel. You know, the whole violence thing, the whole getting high off of the adrenaline, you know.
Murder.
And that's been a thread for a very long time that we have not really addressed.
Yeah. If there's one character that I think is actually just fundamentally different, like maybe subtly different, but I think we're going to talk, like I feel like the books are going to talk about Rachel differently post David trilogy. And I don't know that that's true of any other character, but I do think, don't you feel like the whole Rachel the warrior is going to be less subtext now going forward?
It was subtext before?
It's going to be less of a joke, I think. It's going to be less of them making jokes about it. They're not going to feel comfortable making jokes about it after everything that happened here. Because it's not this jokey, funny, like, we're doing the right thing, but she's going a little crazy with it. Like, this was a much grayer thing. But I think we may see, and we saw shades of it toward the late but not end of book 19, where Cassie sort of realized her power to know people could be used to manipulate people. And in that case, she was doing it in what we would think of as a positive way, where she was bringing someone to what we feel is the right side. Mm-hmm. But in this one, she can't turn away from the fact that her ability to read people is what allowed them to forever trap David.
Right.
Yeah.
And it was used, and that she tried to use it to manipulate David multiple times just to minimize his damage, not to actually be a friend to him, not to, you know what I mean? And so I think Cassie might have a little trouble with that the next time we're with her, how she used her empathy for evil. Not evil, but for the not the best interests of the other person. Although
she had that moment where she flipped out as a T-Rex, right?
Yeah.
Like
she did, but that was a comfort with a level of real physical violence. And like she tried to quit the Animorphs, but now I think she's realizing the soft power is not as soft as it felt before. It's like joining that gray area of the actual violence where like she's manipulating people against themselves in a way.
For sport. No, I'm just kidding.
For sport.
No, not for sport.
No, not for sport.
For war.
Yeah,
for war. It's war, for fuck's sake. We really need, I mean, it's been a while since we touched base with
checked in
Anidorks. Yeah, checked in, touched base with not Anidorks, Andalites.
Andalites.
We haven't heard. We had that weird bubble thing where we went with them to the Lyran homeworld, but like we have no update on how the fucking war's going in a while.
I think they're like the Trisolarans. I think that they say they're coming, but I don't think they're ever coming.
Well, yeah. Now zero space has shifted, and it's gonna take possibly years. Like,
but Z space has stopped shifting, right? It's definitely gotten that out of its system. It's in one place now, and
I don't fucking know.
No, I'm just
every time someone tries to explain something related to Z space, they get shot, or a kid goes, "I don't care," and I'm mad about it.
It's like when someone asks, like, "Why do bad things happen to good people?" And it's like Z space, man.
Z space.
I don't know.
Yeah. I think we can decisively say the Andalites are late at this point, though. They're late.
Yeah.
I don't think they're coming.
I think they're intending to. I think they probably didn't send enough people. Yeah. But like, because Axe got in touch. That's the thing. And then he reported Elfangor's death.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that makes me think they sent someone, but I don't know that it is going to matter. It's just like the Hork-Bajir Chronicles all over again. She sent up a terrified beacon, and they were like, yeah, but it was like a girl.
Yeah.
You know, like one of the, oh man, we could become horrible accelerants. Or what are those people
accelerationists?
The accelerationists, thanks you. Yeah, and we could be like, okay, the only way to get through this, because it is inevitable that the Yeerks will win, and that we'll all be Yeerked. The only way to get through this is to Yeerk harder, so that they feel more guilty about it.
Yeah,
and the revolution eventually happens.
Let them Yeerk faster.
It's a terrible argument.
What do you mean by
and then you can
harder?
whip up a more.
It'll minimize.
What do you mean by Yeerk
right.
to Yeerk harder?
Yeah.
So the Animorphs go undercover as Yeerks and accelerate the Yeerk prod. I mean, they could use that. They're moving slowly. They seem to be still centralized in wherever the Animorphs are. It's very.
It could make them feel very comfortable. Like it could lull them into a false sense of security. It might not be the worst plan to let them get away with some stuff for a while.
Mm-hmm. No, it's the worst plan.
Chris, as our Yeerk correspondent,
yeah.
Do you have feelings about how the Yeerk invasion is going?
Yeah, I'm not proud of sort of the comportment of our leaders. You know, I think we've actually been slow to realize the benefits of the mass transit systems that are being installed.
Yeah.
I think it's crazy to me how effective it is if people actually go and talk about these things in their local government, like how much ride shares are cropping up so quickly.
Yeah.
So yeah, but I mean, you know, there's still a Republican in the White House, so
I want to say, though, I don't think the Yeerks are actually behind the mass transit. I mean, they are. Like, they built it, they did. But, like, I think they got the idea from the taxons.
Yeah.
Those suck tunnels? That's
oh
efficient
my God, I forgot
movement.
about the suck tunnel.
Well, and see, that's the thing is, like, we're talking about, like, what, you know, like, were talking about like, and the Texans had some say. They were like, well, if you're going to be making us do all this stuff, well, they had no say.
They just wanted to join in. They just wanted to join in. But
So
like,
maybe
they
the
don't
Texans
usually.
took the accelerationist view,
True.
and
They
that's
don't
what-
usually yeerk the taxons because the taxons are like, as long as we get some food, we're cool with it. But what if someone went into a taxon ear and they went, oh my God, they have knowledge of more advanced public transit than we can imagine.
Yeah.
I mean, like the people tubes is a thing people thought would actually exist. Like pneumatic tubes. It's like, I don't know. You
Like
see
in
it
Willy
sci-fi.
Wonka.
Or Futurama.
Yeah,
yes.
the tubes in Willy Wonka were designed for chocolate, not people.
And children. Chocolate and children.
Well, a child got into one. But crucially,
That's how
he
we
wasn't
evolved.
supposed to.
I don't think he was both child and chocolate. I think he turned quickly into chocolate.
And yet, if he was going to become both, if it was going to happen anywhere, it would happen to Willy Wonka's factory, right?
True, and he'd have been happy about it, that Augustus Gloop.
Yeah. So if we know KA is actively traveling through time and rewriting the series. We are not sure how to make direct contact with her, but we know she's listening and reacting and rewriting the series, right?
What are you talking about? We're whispering right in her ear right now.
Yes. Thank you for listening, by the way,
It's
KA.
not KA1. It's KA like 57.
And it's
or whatever
Eddie with a
revision
Y,
she's
not
on.
with an IE. KA.
Or wait, it's at least however many sessions we've had.
102.
Right? So 102. It's
Yeah.
at least 102
Yeah.
because she's been changing the book since.
So
we've
if we
been
were to
reading
give her like a bulleted list of a couple of things we'd like to see more of going forward, suck tunnels, what happened to the
more
suck tunnels?
suck tunnels. What happened to the suck tunnels?
Yeah,
Les
we left
David.
him on the Taxon homeworld.
Yes,
Yeah.
less Alfangor
taxes,
driving the
honestly.
Corvette while
What are
sipping.
you talking?
I'm noticing that all your
that was awesome.
notes
Yeah.
are about Andalite Chronicles.
Yes, those are just the
Yeah,
first two.
yeah.
I'm moving on.
Okay.
Also, the car was awesome. That
That was pretty
like
cool.
the funniest
Drinking Dr.
fucking thing.
Pepper through his back hoof.
Okay, so and what happened to the McDonald's employee that had no face?
Well, that was in
His
a
acne
universe
cleared up
that
and
collapsed.
He's having a wonderful time now.
Yeah. Okay, now I'm moving on from Andalite Chronicles.
But I think the answer is more suck tunnels, more time matrix, more. Honestly, I could use like just a little hit from an Elemist. Like just like
Yeah.
I could take some time bending after that. God, that sounded weird.
Yeah.
But I think I just
And
invented
yet
a new
noted,
thing.
Chris, it takes some time bending. So,
Time bending.
I'm just wondering which type of bender in Avatar: The Last Airbender's universe would be able to time bend. Do you think it would be the Airbenders? Is it like a Superboy or a Superman thing where if he spins the Earth backwards, and so then maybe it's the Earthbenders. If they spin the Earth
I think
backwards, can they
Earthbenders,
bend time? I don't know. Like
Or maybe it's perception of time. Maybe they can't distort the passing of time, but they can like distort people's perception of time.
and like that feels like something an Airbender would be able to do by like making mirages or like I don't know, cutting off oxygen to their brain.
Yeah, they should put more of that like that airbending stuff in these books.
yeah.
Do that. Oh, by the way,
That's thermals.
I just watched. Yeah,
so
speaking
true.
of thermals, I just watched a 30-minute long Tom Scott video that'll be on YouTube around the time that this drops. But go look it up because he paraglides and just talks about thermals for 30 minutes. It's amazing.
Is that something we need to do? Do we need to go paragliding?
Paragliding? I
And
think-
Oh, yeah.
ride the
A little
thermals as a
expensive.
podcast? Expensive.
For some reason, I feel like Eddie would. I have an impression that you would like freak out the most, but actually,
would.
you probably love death sports.
No.
Oh no,
Like,
yeah,
I
I think I'd be the worst about it.
No,
to
like,
be honest,
but
I think
I
I'd be like,
I
we'd
would
be there,
die.
and I'd
I
be
would-
like, no.
I would
Like,
die of
you would
fright.
die?
I think.
You
yeah.
think you would die of fright?
I don't
Are
like
you afraid of heights?
Yeah, I don't like heights.
Really?
Yeah.
But you're always climbing things, and then you say, "Get me down, get me down."
I climb to safe heights, I think. Yeah. No, or
you
I
standing
climb
right now?
and then when I get up there I realize I have to get down and then that frightens me. But I
would you
forget
say
it every
they
time.
won't see? Would you say they won't see you waving from such safe heights?
Yeah.
Oh, that joke, man.
Melissa with the dead eyes, I would like to see the return of
I would
She's
love.
coming back.
I want to be real. That's
mean, I
honestly,
don't
if
wanna
I'm
say
gonna
anything.
Melissa and Chapman, I want more of that. I want more that. I want more Tom. I do want more Chapman. I want more. What do I want? I want more.
I want more minivan Chapman.
Yeah.
I want him running more people down.
More people over.
Yeah.
I want more small scale Yeerk plots. You know what I mean? I want to go back. I want to go back to it. I want more Yeerk infighting. I want to meet more Yeerk characters.
Yes. Yeah.
I want to know what Fenestra's up to.
Show me. Yeah. I want to know about keyword search.
Chi? I'm good with the Chi count right now. I think Chi are showing up.
Chi have come back a satisfying number of times. But I have not heard, and Fenestra was not that long ago, but and I guess, I don't know, they're at a standoff with him, and so it probably will be a long time before we hear about him again, but I want to know, they're just letting him kill people.
More Visser 2?
Did they burn down his house?
Yes, they did. Yeah.
No, someone else. Oh, yeah, they did. But he's still alive.
Yeah, but they burned down his house.
The compound in which he was killing people, so he's going to have to start from scratch.
He's got to have more than one house, too. Right?
He's so rich. He owns the
probably
internet.
In Florida now, so that's where his other house
is. He's John Windows.
He's John Windows.
Can we just call him John Windows from now on? That's
absolutely.
So it's like Johnny Andalite. Oh man!
I think, but that's more of what I want to see. I mean, obviously new things. I don't
Visser
know when
2.
new things are coming.
I need to know all about Visser 2. Oh
yeah, same.
Oh my god!
Visser 2.
The big
Visser
eye
2.
that we saw in book 6 with Jake. I mean, I don't think that's coming back.
The fugue.
The fugue. Yeah. I don't think that book is that creature is coming back or whatever we saw, but
I bet you it's coming back.
Oh, and what did we learn about was it Andalite Chronicles? No, Hork-Bajir? Andalite Chronicles. The force for evil,
Mother Sky,
the anti-elements.
The force for evil. How there's the anti-elements. Yeah,
Oh,
he does talk about
yeah.
that at the end of Andalite Chronicles when he's like, "Why are you doing this?" And he's like, "Well, you know how we're a force. We claim to be neutral, but there's this dark force, we don't know if it's the Howlers."
Oh my god, the Howlers!
That was my pet theory.
That was yours, yeah, and I still think it could be the Howlers.
Yeah.
Could be.
Yeah.
Do we want to check out these emails?
Yeah.
Let's do it. All right.
See what we've already got in the can.
All right. I sent you guys a thing. One of them is Animorph. All right. So let's do this first one here. All right. Hi, Teus here. Pronounced Teus. He, him. I'm a big fan of the podcast, Popcorn Miranda.
At the time of writing this, you just finished book 1 of the David trilogy, which leads me to my question. If the Animorphs could recruit any one non-controller human to join them, who would be the most helpful? Consider both the characters' strengths and weaknesses, Popcorn Eddie.
As well as how they would work with the group. Thanks. Okay.
I think it would have to be...
Marco's
would have to be Bill Nye the Science Guy.
Okay.
Bill Nye the
outside of
Science
the
Guy.
books.
No, he's in the world, right? No, I'm just
I don't know.
I don't know either. David Letterman. No.
David Letterman, Arnold Schwarzenegger would be a good pick. No, let's see. I do agree. I think
one
we
of
talked
the
about
parents?
I think Marco's dad is a solid pick, but he's a little too dangerous because if he does get yeerked, he's a target. That's sort of why.
And he's already
his
a target.
mom.
Yeah,
his mom sort of.
I like
did what she
Marco's dad
did.
though. I think that's a good idea, Eddie.
I don't think it's a bad idea.
Yeah.
I just worry. I just worry.
Cassie's mom
Could be great. Gets you access to all sorts of animals. She could be like, we're building an Arctic exhibit. And they'd be like, why? And she'd be like, because my daughter wants to be a fucking polar bear, you know?
Yeah, I think I'd take Marco's dad over Cassie's mom. I think the funniest option would be Dan, Hurricane Dan.
Hurricane Dan.
Yeah.
He could just misreport the weather to fuck up Yeerk operations.
Mm-hmm.
Not Durain, not Crazy Helen, not...
not Crazy Helen?
No, she's...
I think Crazy Helen's a great choice.
She's crazy.
Durain is a Yeerk.
Yeah, Durain is a
Oh, I'm
Yeerk,
sorry.
Eddie.
Who is...
You can't
Shireen?
Yeerk.
Charisse.
Chunks of Darlene.
No, Charisse. Marco's
No, she's
hairstylist.
Yeah. Okay, I guess we can't say the Valik because the Valik is not human.
It would be cool if we could recruit the Valik.
It also is a swarm of things.
Should we have acquired? No, you're right.
Where do
We
you put
can't
the
acquire
Yeerk?
the Valik. Yeah.
They could only make a Valik 5 bugs big.
Yeah.
Okay. Visser 3.
I
Human
think if we
character.
could get him on our side, it'd be unreal.
I think that'd be pretty funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If we got Cassie's mom or dad, does that open up the gardens as the end game home base of the Animorphs? And is the gardens going to become the end game home base?
Well, I was going to say they're going to draw too much heat because once they recognize the morph diversity outstrips that of the surrounding area, they're going to know that these kids have been to a zoo. Honestly, they should have figured that out already.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you think they don't know?
Whose fault is that?
It's Visser
3.
Oh, but you know what? They got it wrong, and they surrounded the aquarium, not the zoo. They got a little confused.
After that, they did. They had a security guard
did
at the
do that.
aquarium. That's true.
They did do that. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know what? They
Got
really
the
have no
job.
excuse after, what was it, book 14? When that whole battle at the parade happened at the gardens.
Oh my God. The battle at the parade was unreal. Hey, could we get that shitty officer? Was his name the
Captain-
shitty military guy?
Captain Tortellini?
No, Captain Tortellini.
Love
I
that
assume
guy.
there are probably other kids that could be a good fit.
Though he would be an interesting pick because he probably does believe in aliens. 'Cause
Yeah.
they know they have the alien toilet.
Yeah, he works at Zone 91.
Mm-hmm.
He would be
He'd
easy
an
to get on your
interesting
side.
Pick. Yeah, you wouldn't have to twist his arm.
All right, what about real world people?
Eddie.
Me?
Eddie?
Yeah, I think it'd be funny.
I'm scared of heights.
You don't have to morph a tall animal. You don't have to morph a
You
giraffe.
promise I don't have to morph a tall animal.
I promise. Yeah.
Are there or other YA characters? Like, do we think like Katniss?
Yeah?
No, we don't think like Katniss.
Even
or, I
non-morphing
don't know,
Katniss,
someone-
she could just have a crossbow or something.
What about Edward from Twilight?
Jacob already is kind of an
Specifically-
anamorph.
Yeah, I was gonna say, see, Jacob can already kind of morph, so like we need Edward.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you, Teus. Thank you,
Thank you,
Teus.
Teus.
Yeah, that's a fun thought.
This is an interesting one. This is less anamorphy, but I kind of think we should just go for it.
Okay.
I don't know. Because they wrote us, right? It's
Yeah.
like, yeah. All right. So this is from Teehee. Hi, Anna Cool Kids. Curious about your thoughts on this. Have you heard of Therians?
I think it's Therians.
Therians.
Or maybe
okay.
Therians, one or the other.
Okay. All right. Thespians. Not sure if they're big in the United States, but I live in Mexico and my partner is Mexican, so I keep hearing about this. Well, thespians are perfectly normal theater kids, and actors. It's totally Popcorn Miranda.
Apparently, Therians are a subculture of mostly young people who identify as a type of animal. I should specify non-human animal. It's not in the, but I will say either as much as they identify as human or more. This is very specific from furries in that it's not so much about a costume or wearing gear, but more about emotionally identifying and in some cases acting and playing as a specific animal. In Mexico and Latin America, Therians had a viral moment where lots of young people were on TikTok and Instagram explaining their identity and showing how they express their animal side. Because Mexico is more culturally conservative, even though that's changing, there was a lot of news coverage and faux outrage about kids these days. Popcorn Eddie.
In Mexico City, someone tried to organize a Therian meetup, and national and international news showed up to cover and sensationalize it, but they ended up scaring away all of the would-be participants who didn't want their names and faces plastered all over the internet. Still, it continues to be part of the pop culture zeitgeist in Mexico. When my boyfriend first told me about Therians, he was very clear that he isn't one, but could understand how someone might identify with more than could understand how someone might identify more with an animal than a person, because he's always felt a connection to wolves and werewolves. A few weeks ago, Popcorn Chris.
We were having drinks at a Mexican bear bar, and the subject came up again. My bartender friend said that because he identifies as a bear in the gay community, then he'd probably identify as a bear in the Therian community. Sure. But then he insisted that I'm also a bear. To be clear, in the gay community, yes, I'm a bear. But that doesn't mean I identify on a spiritual or socio-cultural level with actual bears. My boyfriend and my bartender kept pressing me about what animal I would be in the Therian community. And here's the thing. I identify very much just as a human. But having read the Animorphs book, I feel like I've gotten lots of insights into what it might feel like to be an animal, thanks to K.A. Applegate's amazing writing. So this made me wonder, what do you guys think about Therians? Are any of you Therians? And if so, what is your animal? But also, how do we think our Animorph kids would feel about Therians? Wow.
That's an interesting question.
How does the question of identifying with animals change when you literally transform into animals, and not just the animals you feel connected with, but any animal? I've been chewing on this for weeks. I would love to hear your take. Until the Andalites return, tee-hee. Tee-hee.
That's a really good question. Because, I did hear about Therians, and, I think generally a lot of that, a lot of stuff, people overblow stuff on the internet where people get
oh
really...
my God, people overblow stuff on the internet?
I know, but people get really into posting about it on the internet, and, it can totally be just a part of their life, and they might be a totally you'd never know, or they can be very open about it or not. And so people often point to people doing it on the internet as cringe or whatever. But I think I'm glad that people have spaces on the internet to express this. When I was younger, this was mostly done on role play forums and very, very limited to just things like that, where you couldn't necessarily talk directly to people, or it was just harder to communicate. And I definitely went through I don't want to call it a phase, because I still have animals that I do feel like I connect to in certain ways, in my heart. But I definitely went through a phase of really liking wolves, and then it shifted to foxes, and I still really love foxes, and I consider seeing a fox a sign of
it's that one sexy fox that's in Robin Hood, right?
No, not Maid Marian or Robin Hood. I never saw
They're
that
both
movie.
hot.
They're both hot, yeah. But it's Nick Wilde or whatever from Zootopia. But I think my favorite thing about it is just people being themselves and totally owning that. But the question of what would the Animorphs feel when they can actually change into animals, and do they ever stumble upon an animal that they just feel really connected to?
But I think...
Tobias is a hawk.
Yes, I was going to say, and I wasn't even thinking of Tobias, but I also feel
that's insane that you weren't thinking of Tobias.
Yeah,
that's nuts.
I'm never thinking of Tobias. No, I'm just...
Oh my God.
Rachel, I feel
that's so funny.
So, because I think some of the Animorphs have found a point of identification with an animal. And they have all given me permission to say this on their behalf. So, but Rachel, I think...
You're going to get us so canceled right now, I can tell.
I think Rachel... The bear? I feel like Rachel seems like it seems like there's a connection there beyond battle, right? So.
I feel the bear, but I also remember how she felt as a tomcat.
She was burping the croc. Oh yeah, the tomcat.
Which was
she seemed to feel
not good.
That was book 2. No, burping the croc was bad, but book 2 she seemed to feel very swaggery
she liked the tomcat.
And cool. Yeah. And the bear, I feel like I do think she identifies with the bear, but I almost feel like the bear is armor. You know what I mean? The bear, I don't know if it's the inside Rachel. It's definitely the outside Rachel.
So her perfect
I don't know if
state
it's the inside Rachel.
would be being a tomcat in bear morph, and then...
Yeah, I think that would be...
bear armor.
Bear armor.
I do feel like Jake, I don't know that Jake has a morph that I'm clearly even the tiger... Less than Rachel and Barrymorph. It's I don't see a connection there.
No.
There's something happening with dolphins when the kids become dolphins.
They do like being dolphins.
Do like being dolphins.
But I
Cassie,
feel like that seems like a comment more
I think that's
about...
like a Lisa Frank thing.
Lisa Frank selling. We were selling folders,
Yeah.
but also like I don't know, almost a comment on the similarity between dolphins and humans. Like, it almost reminds me of like a Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy type thing, where they're like, dolphins are actually the second smartest species on the planet, and their thoughts. So it's like, I don't know if being a dolphin feels more right because it feels closer to being a human is kind of like their capacity for thought is very similar, and then they just like having fun.
Oh, Cassie with the horse. That's what it would be. I feel like
Cassie seemed to bond with, like, she seemed to like being a horse. There seemed to be something steady about it.
And we were joking about her being a horse girl.
Yeah.
And I feel like horse girls
But she's actually an umamusume.
But I think, like, yes. And I think horse girls actually do a thing in their communing with animal. They, like, are, like, it's like, there's, like, an externalization thing that I think happens in that.
Yeah.
thing. It's like dog owners.
Yeah.
Dog owners do this too. I don't know that
Yeah.
cat owners do it because I don't think they have souls.
It is interesting.
I hate you so much.
I'm sorry.
Oh, wait, so you mean the cats or the cat owners?
The cat owners.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
Yeah. I would never speak ill of cats. I've learned that cat owners hate that.
It is interesting to think of, like, who has spent time in a morph in their downtime, in like alone. And Cassie has spent time. We've caught her in the act to being a horse in her downtime, away
Running.
from the group. Yeah,
munching on hay.
This is my version of
definitely
Punk'd,
are, like,
is where I'm just trying to catch
She and
the
Axe are
animorphs.
definitely run buds.
They're run buds. And I think there's
they
something, and I think that feels to me, I don't know that much about horses. I should start there. I know a lot about umamusume.
Well, they don't all have wings. Just some of them have wings.
And then they don't all have horns either, but some of them have both, and so those are alicorns, and some have the horn. That's a unicorn. The wings makes it a Pegasus, and they have none. That's an earth pony. It's just that's your MLP rundown.
So I once rode an earth pony. You're telling?
Yes.
Okay.
Horses to me seem like very steady creatures. Like they have this capacity to go very fast, but they spend much of their time not doing that. And it's also not part of their hunting. It's not like a cheetah where they go very fast so that they can stay alive. Running is just a thing horses do. And inside, they seem like very sure, very calm, very steady animals but they're big and strong and have this capacity for like deep emotional connections. And like, I don't know, that vibes with Cassie for me. She like, the horse to me makes sense. I also think the wolf morph doesn't not make sense. Wolves is a very social animal, and Cassie like being a caregiver, like I think fits into the idea of like being a social animal. Marco, I think, is just a human. I don't think Marco really unless he got a hyena morph.
Hyena, yeah.
See, because he would use the hyena morph to laugh inappropriately at people's jokes all the time, or non-jokes. He would just laugh at serious moments, and and then he'd be like, "I like this actually."
Which is why his closest version, I think, is the gorilla, which has a high capacity for physical comedy. But he is not a gorilla. I don't think.
No.
Not as much as a chimpanzee, though. You don't hear about gorillas smoking cigarettes quite as often.
No, and chimpanzees, I feel like, have a little bit more, I feel like their facial expressions have a little more range. But that just may be the chimpanzees I've met are more expressive than the gorillas I've met. I don't know that I should paint with such a broad brush.
I've never met a gorilla.
Jake had a high point of identification with any morph that I don't think he has.
I don't think Jake really has a personality, and I think you need to
The
stop asking
Wheaties,
questions
Chris.
that draw
The
this out into the
Wheaties.
light. The Wheaties?
Yeah.
I
He
think that you're
really
just
liked
trying...
dog brain, but I don't think that had anything to do with identifying with dog brain, and had more to do with what dog brain let him escape from human brain.
Yeah, which is kind of the dolphin thing, too. The dogs of the sea.
True. I would say it's sea lions, but like, that's just me.
Did you say dolphins of the sea?
Dogs of the sea.
Dolphins are the dogs of the
dogs
sea.
of the sea. Okay.
So what do we think? I think the Animorphs would understand Therians more than the average person. I think it would make sense to them. Yeah?
I actually don't know that that's true. I think that it's true that they could maybe identify with parts of it.
I think they would have a different barrier than most people who just identify as human. And like, they mostly probably just identify as human, but they have been other animals. So they'd be like, I want to be supportive, but they've, I've been a cat.
Right.
Like, and I know they want to be a cat, or, like, physically, and I know they are a cat internally or whatever, but like, I have a different experience since I've physically been a cat, and I don't know that we can like see.
Now, I want to make it clear. The Anidorks don't feel this way. I think it sounds great. It's like when I wanted to be a Pokemon. I think this is awesome.
Yeah.
And it's probably more serious than, the thing about Pokemon is they don't exist. But I was serious about it.
If I wanted to be a Pokemon, I wanted to be a Pokemon so that I could be something that doesn't already exist. You know what I mean? I wanted to be like my own special thing.
Yeah. And I wanted to be a Pokemon because I wanted to be trapped inside of a Pokeball. That was.
They tell me it's lovely in there. I want to just be carried around until I'm needed.
Yeah. Which is also what I liked about the idea of becoming. When I read Animorphs as a kid, I liked the idea of becoming a dog because then you get picked up and carried around, and I thought that's.
Oh my god! I think I've said this.
That is like what you want.
Yeah, I think I've said this before, but when I was
not too high though, not too high. Yeah.
When I was like 9 or 10, I wrote a thing, and they were concerned about it because it was like, what would you do? Like, what would you do, like, that you can't actually do if you could? And I was like, I'd become a dog because everybody would be happy to see me and they would have, like, no expectations of my performance.
Yeah.
I could just be a dog. Everybody would be automatically happy that I'm there.
And yet
I'd get lots of pets and I could just take a nap whenever and nobody would be upset about it.
Yeah. Literally someone could be talking to you and you'd take a nap and then people would be like, oh, that's great.
That's so cute. Like,
that's great. Yeah.
It's not that anyone has any expectation, but everything you do exceeds expectation, which is really what I want.
That's true. Yeah. They really, I love dogs. I'm thinking about getting a dog. But
I think Chris is taking notes. Like it's like you're filling out your therapist report or something. Like,
I do also just to loop back into the earlier parts, there are Therians in America. It is pretty small. Like I've seen boards for them on like Reddit and stuff, but I don't think it's as like, I don't think that people have done like big meetups, but I also really fucking hate when a group of people who take part in something that is considered cringe or embarrassing by like the majority of people can't do the thing they want to do and meet up with people who share their interests because people just show up to like dunk on them and say that they're cringe and embarrassing. Like I was at this is not quite a good one-to-one, but like I was at the first Anime NYC after COVID and one of the variants like came right after that and they think that might have been they were like, it's a super spreader event. It turned out to like, I think not be, but like they went to the places that the most people had their masks off because they were like eating or because they were like, taking them off for a moment to take a photo and took pictures of as many people with their masks off as they could and presented that like we were just running around the convention with like no masks when actually the policies were like very strictly enforced. And I was like, and we were already all in cosplay and in anime clothes and people were like, oh, these stupid fucking nerds can't even wear their damn masks. They're probably snowflakes. And I was like, I'm gonna fucking scream.
Yeah. Yeah.
I am a snowflake.
I do have one last thought. Is Visser 3, the Yeerks, Therian form, Andalite? I think yes.
That I actually totally think is true because even before he got the Andalite morph, he like read so much about Andalites and he really identified with it. That's a really good connection.
Good job, Eddie. That exceeded my expectations.
Thank you. Yes. Okay.
Head pats for you. Rub, 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 rub. All right. Do you need to go to sleep now?
I'm already asleep.
Thanks for listening to Anidorks. We'll be back soon with lots more to say. Until the Andalites return, or at least until next time. See you soon!